our own very safety emeritus. We have with us our safety professor. We don't just call him a safety professional. No. We call him a safety professor, an emeritus in health and safety. And we'll be having him today to enlighten us, to educate us, to train us, to whatever word you can use that has to do with enlightenment. Yes, we're having him today, and he's promising to be a very educating, interesting, and I'm trying to look for adjectives to qualify. Is it adjective or adverb to qualify what today would be? We are very appreciative of your coming, for your invite. We promised to start by 5 o'clock, and it's already 5 o'clock, and very soon we will kickstart the training properly. We already have him with us. In fact, he's the first person to join us on the group, together with Mr. Ike Naoji and a couple of others. Thank you for making it up to this moment. We appreciate your work. We appreciate your presence with Mr. Sunday, Mr. Christian, Idami Vincent, Oluwa, Mrs. Yetunde. We have Mrs. Damilola, Iyenoma Osaze, Mr. Dare Akinfosile, always here with us at every point in time. Kindly confirm that I'm very loud and clear. Kindly confirm that you can hear me. We have some complaints that some people can't hear us here. Please kindly confirm that you can hear us clearly. We have Elena Elena, all the way from Rwanda, I think. Yeah, you are also welcome to this episode. Yes, very loud and clear. Loud and clear, yes. Okay, so the person that can't hear us clearly, kindly check your connection to confirm that you are with us, because it's like every other person can hear us clearly. Mr. Detunji Salami, always here with us. Ogene Pawon, always here with us at every point in time. Teresa Olanyika, thanks for coming. Mr. Matthew, thanks for... Yes, someone said he can hear us loud and clear. We have Eka Tosio. We can't keep mentioning names. We appreciate you for coming. Thank you for coming, and we will start the introduction of the training properly while we still wait for others to join us. We already have a good number to start, and with the permission of my able, powerful speaker, my able, powerful mentor, my able, powerful professor, my able, powerful emeritus, with his permission, can we start, sir? Can we go ahead, or we should wait for some time more?
You are the leader for this conference, for this talk today. You are our leader. You are the leader. You can give them some minutes. All eyes on you, sir. When you command me, I remain your humble servant today. I follow.
Yes, sir. You've already sent your message, sir, and I understand what you mean, that I can give them some minutes. So while we wait for others, let's keep appreciating everyone who is here with us already. I know very well that right here, I'm the servant here. Right here, I'm the one who has taken the role to come and learn from everybody who is here with us. So my boss remains my boss at every point in time, whether we like it or not. So Mr. Jami Badmos and Nabami Badmos, Professor Jamiu Badmos, Emeritus Jamiu Badmos has spoken that we might give some minutes, which I think it's good for us, 2-3 extra minutes, and we'll start this training. Thank you, Mr. Afolabi Olorunfemi, for coming. Akim Mukhtar, thank you for making it up to this moment. Oluwole Ayanfe Oluwa, my powerful boss. I can never forget my boss. The one that actually the first how would I put it, the first speech in which I first started to learn my safety back then in 2016. He accepted me after Mr. Jamiu Badmos created the way for me. While you come into safety, there is something for you. And he was able to assist me with God's permission, was able to assist me to go right there into my first experience in health and safety with my very able, my never forgetting organization, hybrid group by Mr. Dapomalade, and they put me on the feet of Mr. Oluwole Ayanfe Oluwa. I know you want me to mention his name, but I will keep mentioning your name everywhere I go to, because I'm very humble and I very appreciate all your concerns. The 3 chairmen, the 3 professors, the 3 mentors, the 3 starters of my health and safety journey. Engineer Jamiu Badmos, Mr. Dapomalade, and Mr. Oluwole Ayanfe Oluwa. Yes, I appreciate you all for having it to come to our safety moment with Aliola. And we promise that with who we have today, but we don't need to speak too much. With who we have today, we believe that we are all going to carry More than 10 Ghana must go, 20 Ghana must go, 50 Ghana must go, 100 Ghana must go of knowledge of health and safety. Mr. Francis, thanks for making it up to this moment. We have a lot already, and if we keep mentioning names, I think we'll use the whole of today to keep mentioning names. Thank you for coming, and at this point in time, we'll introduce our speaker. I don't need to talk about what we have today. I don't need to talk about it. Let me introduce the speaker, and we'll continue on this episode of Safety Moment with Adiola. Please, we'll appreciate it if you can please mute yourself at every point in time, because we do not want distraction. Our professor, we know he can do with distraction. He's never distracted at any point in time. If I keep talking, he always have himself on point. But all the same, we won't want any distraction from our own path, for we who always get distracted easily, unlike our boss. So please always mute yourself at every point in time. Yes, so who do we have today? And what do we have today? We have the training. In fact, when he told me, Waliu, let us teach ourselves. He used the word teach. He didn't use facilitate. He didn't use lecture. He used the word teach, which is the word that someone who is passionate about educating others will use. The simplest word, teach, meaning that it's going to break it into pieces. What about ISO 45001? In fact, if it's possible with this training that's going to give us a loan, we can actually become a certified lead auditor if you give us permission, because I know that we are going to learn a lot. So who do we have today? We have today Engineer Jamiu Badmus, a versatile, analytical, and passionate QHSSE business sustainability and enterprise risk professional with over 20 years practical experience, practical and approach. In fact, sometimes I used to think that it's like 40 to 50 years of experience because of what it gives us practically. It shows how erudite he is in this scholarship. Strong coaching skills and certification in various certificates. If I keep mentioning, basically we have this ISO there, 9001, 5001, we have 40,001, we have certified IRC auditor, internal certificate in management system audit, we have business processes, enterprise risk management, business continuity, process safety, QHSSE management, asset management, and a whole lot of certifications. It is not only about the certificate, it's about what he has inside of him. It's about what he had inside of him. If knowledge was to be something very valuable in this world of today, Engineer Jamiu Badmus will have been kidnapped and put one place that, Mr. Man, continue to pour to us what we have. And that those knowledge will have been placed in a secret place so that they will be selling it for us in millions and billions. But thank God, he's ready to give us for free at every point in time. He is a registered engineer with innovative ideas to deliver tasks meticulously, timely approach, and passionately. He has translated excellent safety, environmental quality performance into profitability and operational excellence for over 45 companies, which I know by now it will be more than that, including multinationals in the oil and gas, telecoms, manufacturing, banking, logistics, construction, power sector. What else do you want that you want to listen to our boss today? Engineer Jamiu Badmus is a fellow in 9 leading professional bodies, which I know by now it will be more than that, because this my profile that I'm reading is so many years ago. I'm reading the profile of him so many years ago. Remember what he will be now. Oh God, we need to bring our pen, our books, and whatever we can use to write down, whatever we can use to note down what our professor have for us today. He is a member of Safety and NISC, that is Nigerian Safety Engineers, AERPMP, Association of Enterprise Risk Management, including ISPON, definitely, including IIRSM, a whole lot of them. Over the years, he has delivered outstanding world-class lecture and received award in both local and international conferences, summits, discourse, including but not limited to TEDx. Wow. Not limited to TEDx, 2020, IRMS, IHOSH, National Safety, a whole lot of them I can't keep mentioning because of time. Engineer Jamiu Badmus, a Vision Zero global profiler, won the prestigious Business Day Risk Manager of the Year in 2018. You can see I told you that this is so many years ago, in 2018, and also won the WSO Person of the Year and Risk Management Ambassador in 2019. He has won AfriSafe Awards several times and the contributor to AfriSafe Awards, and he has attended several executive courses in prestigious institutions, including Harvard, Driving Business Performance, Lagos Business School, Mississippi State University, Tekedi Academy, Gear Academy, and a whole lot of them. And I have the personal privilege, because the privilege for me to have introduced my boss, I have the personal privilege to introduce to you on the platform and to start the training of today, Engineer Jamiu Badmus. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much, Waliula, with all your stories you have read. I think these are more than I do. I first and foremost give all the praises and honor to the Almighty Wise Creator, the first without a beginning and the last without an end. Having celebrated and having saluted the Almighty Wise Creator, the next is to greet my one and only leader present here, who of course may not be chance, but because he hears my name, I know he finds his way to join this. And that's Dr. Molade, the National Coordinator and the Group CEO of Hybrid, the National Coordinator of the Safety Advocates and Empowerment Foundation. I'm celebrating my brother, I need you, my brother, and I recognize you, my leader. I appreciate all of us, and I thank all the organizer of this program. Waliyula, we have been doing a great work, and we always respect you. Leadership is not by age. Today you started, and now you have become a leader too. And leadership is not a journey. You continue to grow and continue to grow. Thank you so much for this invite. Having celebrated Almighty God, having thanked Dr. Molade, a great leader, and having recognized you, the organizer, I thank all the audience present here today. I celebrate you all. I salute you all. And I must confess, this is just the beginning of us sharing some knowledge amongst ourselves. I am not the authority in this field, but I know that whatever we say today, if you have any questions, by God's grace, we'll be able to deliver the answers. Having implemented this standard in various organizations across sectors, and having set it up and having understood it, I will be able to go into the anatomy of ISO 45001, demystifying it. I remember when the standard was released on the 12th of March 2018, I was among the first set of people to deliver this lecture under the Safety Advocates Group. And it moves all around the whole world. People understand what we stand for. So I thank you, my coordinator, the National Coordinator Molade, for giving such opportunity. And of course, for bringing into this world, I'm HSC positive. And that is very, very important for us as we continue to do this lecture. Today, we want to look at how we demystify ISO 45001 2018. That people think is very difficult to implement or has a lot of difficulties in managing it. So simple, we are going to make it so simple today. And I will talk on the principles, implementation, and of course, those who want to go into certification, how do you get certified? Whether as individual, whether as corporate, how do you do it? And that is where we are today. All this being equal, we have to start the journey now. The learning points today are going to be, I will first start with understanding the principles of occupational safety and health. I know you are all leaders present here. I will go a little bit down, and I will now talk of analysis of this standard. I will do a brief analysis, and I'll quickly move to pathway for us to get ourselves being certified. Having said this, this is the world of that is dynamic. A lot of things are happening in this world, and as a matter of fact, we must be ready to also move in a dynamic way. If we want to operate in this world in a static manner, is not yet ready to be in this world. The same thing goes to health and safety. Health and safety management is going through a lot of changes with respect to technology. And what that implies is that management of change is coming in based on plus 9.1.3 of that same standard. This standard we are talking about has already addressed a lot of things that will likely happen in the course of health and safety. Therefore, I greet you all wherever you are in the greeting of COVID-19, whether by leg, whether by elbow, whether by any other means. We don't shake hands. But we thank Almighty God that things are coming, taking shape and getting better. Like in 2020 and in 2021, when we faced the real COVID. The truth of the matter is, all these lessons that we learned from COVID, if we continue to learn from it, we will see that we are going to live a better life. And that is why Charles Darwin has put it in one of his statements. It is not the strongest, it is not the most intelligent among you that can navigate through crisis. It is one that is adapted to change. COVID came as, we don't understand it. It came as uncertainty. And before you know it, it turns to risk. And now we can easily manipulate and manage this crisis known as COVID-19 because it is a physical, in short, it is an health emergency, public health emergencies. So we can quickly know how to manage them. So I greet you all and celebrate you. But remember, what we learn from history is we learn nothing from history. Let us learn from this history. A lot of people have said, forget COVID, let's forget hygiene practices, let's forget all the things we do at that point in time. Please don't let us forget them. Let's still continue to do them. I celebrate you all and I thank you all. The first part of our lecture is to speak this language. And I throw it open to you. I know most of you here, if not all of you, apart from my twin brother, who can also speak Chinese like me. You don't understand what to say here. But what it means here is Shahun Shahun. Shahun Shahun means where do we start from? It is not that easy. Where do we start this lecture from today? Are we going to start from the top to the bottom? Let's look at how we're going to start this lecture. And the truth of the matter is, doing lecture like this, you have to know the areas to start it. I will start from the big data. We are in the world of data, and I like to always try to bring data at the forefront of health and safety. Though in Nigeria today, our health and safety, we don't have enough data. We don't have data that we can use to analyze. We don't have enough data that we can mine, that we can do data mining, that we can do a lot of operations on data analytics on those data. But let us see where I'm going to start from. First and foremost, I want us to know that workplace accidents and injuries, they continue to create a lot of financial burdens for some companies and for all the companies. In short, most of the financial burdens are either through direct and indirect costs. The direct costs include the compensation, the medical bill, hospital bill. When you talk of the indirect costs, you talk about regulatory sanctions, you talk about production loss costs, talk about the cost for human resource, talk about the cost of moral consequence. Because when accidents happen, people may not likely want to work. In short, as a project manager, one of the critical aspects of your work is to deliver your job safely within the timeline, within the cost and budget. But when you have accidents on the project, you have accidents in the organization, what it turns to you is to affect that your budget, it will affect your timeline. You know why? When accidents happen, all the work will stop. And when the work will stop, regulators come inside, delay your time, they delay your project delivery, then you are not a good project manager because you've not factored the risk of your operation into the project plan so that at the end of the day, you can deliver at the right time. All this constitutes what we call the true cost of accident. That is why the International Labour Organization, ILO, came forward and said in 2017 that $2.99 trillion or 2.43 trillion pounds are what we are spending on accidents in this world, which accounts to almost 3.9, and I repeat, 3.94% of gross domestic product. So this is telling us that accident is costing us a lot. Apart from taking our lives away, apart of causing injury on our people, apart from adding negative value into the business, apart from making a business not to be sustainable, it has been able to cost us a lot of money. Then what do we need to do as leaders? What do we need to do as professionals? What do we need to do? And how can we cater for these incidents that are happening in various organizations? According to ILO again, International Labour Organization, 7,500 people are dying every day as a result of unsafe and unhealthy working conditions. May I also inform us here today that ILO has now graded health and safety as part of human rights. So therefore, it is your right. Therefore, it is my right. Therefore, it's the right of the workers to demand for health and safety of the people. If 7,500 people are dying as a result of unsafe and unhealthy condition, out of which 1,000 are dying because of occupational accidents that are happening in our various locations, and 6,500 are dying as a result of work-related diseases like occupational cancer, like asbestosis, like a lot of silicosis and other diseases that we have that are killing people in our various organizations. Having said this statistic, the World Health Organization now supported this statistic with the fact that 2 million people are dying from work-related deaths per year. Out of these 2 million people, 386,000 deaths every year is as a result of exposure to airborne particulate, of which 152,000 people are dying as a result of inhaling carcinogens, substances that can cause cancer. So therefore, we now go back to economics, where we have our leaders to tell us that in short, 37% of lower back pain is attributed to occupation. So what this implies is that economic issues, economic risks that are affecting us, a lot of them also comes through occupation. As a matter of fact, with this statistic alone, you can see that people are dangerously affected. You can see that people could not do what they're supposed to do, and therefore it will affect sustainability of any organization, because sustainability itself hinges on 4 P. The P's are the people, the planet, and prosperity. And this prosperity is the profit angle of the organization, and that is profitability. But the people are very critical. People wellness is very key. Mental health of people is very important and very crucial. Therefore, engagement of stakeholders, these are the people. The people are the staff. The people are the customer. The people are the people in the community. The people are the people that will make a business to move forward. And that is why, if we go back to that standard under clause 4.1.2, it said meeting the needs and expectations of interested party. The people that we are talking about in sustainability, they are the people that are interested party, because interested party has the same meaning as stakeholder. So when you engage stakeholder, when you engage the people, when you engage the staff, when the staff are motivated, when the staff is motivated, that motivation will make the staff to continue to work for organization, and what you think is difficult becomes very simple. But when staffs are demotivated, what is simple becomes very difficult. What we think is easy becomes very difficult. So the 3 P's very critical. So health and safety can do itself on these people, and it takes so much on it and goes straight to attack it on the prosperity part of it. And that is why you cannot single out health and safety from sustainability, or take sustainability out of health and safety. They all work in tandem so that an organization, so that leaders can achieve the goal of the business. And the goal of the business could also include business making money. I have said it now, health and safety is not to stop business. Health and safety is not to shut down business. Health and safety is to work with the production. Everybody come together and have a safe production, and that is what we are talking about in health and safety. The truth is, you can see the diagrams, you can see the way you see it, and start having musculoskeletal disorders in the course of not sitting properly, with your workstation not okay. You look at road safety, you look at office safety, you look at electrical safety, you look at emergency response, you look at fire affecting people everywhere. You see fire in the country, in Lagos especially. Before you know it, you see fire incident has happened. All these constitute health and safety issues, and they are all present in how do you manage them. You see in your kitchen, you can fall down, slip, trips, and fall. You can have mental health issues. You can have issues affecting yourself. So I can start having what we call absent-mindedness. A lot of accidents are caused by absent-mindedness, mental health related issue. You can walk on staircase and fall down. On road, there could be accident. Construction site is also there. One can have collapse of, your scaffold, and you can fall down from ladder. If you look at all these accidents that I've shown so far, you will agree with me, as we are taught as a student. They will teach us, they say, All are caused by unsafe act and unsafe condition. And some of our teachers will add the third one. They say act of God and remove that one. Why? Because when everybody say act of God, we will turn it into spiritual thing. Before you know it, you will not do the right thing. You have accident, you say it has been destined by God. We don't want to put that one here. Our culture is difficult to accept that one. In this, our great country, Nigeria, if you accept it, that people should claim act of God, what they will do is every accident, they will claim is act of God. On this basis, I will pick only the unsafe act and unsafe condition, which of course are very critical. The people are the staff. When the staff don't comply with what you have told them to do, it turns unsafe act when you get them. When the organizations don't put in place a safe and healthy condition in the workplace that could prevent accident from happening, that constitutes unsafe condition. To help when all our controls are not working very well, it will go through them, the hazard will eventually turn into an accident. Therefore, we now look at our reality in Nigeria. Let's look at this cartoon to look at our reality. You all agree with me, in the country I come from, in your own country, in our country. You can see that man there. That is the MD of the company. Look what he said. Safety man, we must not have accident on this side. To do all you can do to stop it, okay? And he gives the order. But the safety man said, but sir, there is no budget for safety. He said, just try your best, try your best. After all, only God save people's life. Just do your best or I'll sack you. That's some of the reality we are having. Then, as them now happen, they say, oh no, we don't even have a flexi box, I'm dead. They have seen organizations that are very reactive. It's when there's an incident, they jump up and down. After the incident, they continue to move on their life. And this is typical of Nigeria. Nigeria as a country, when accident happen, we jump, we make noise, we shout at all, but when everything is down, we forget it. How many collapse have we had? How many incidents have we had against for workers that are already having serious injury? Some have died, and there's nothing that will happen. Regulators can go there, they shut down the place, they will not even correct the anomaly that led to the accident. Everybody continue to enjoy their own wealth into their pocket and making it a safety, a way to do business at the detriment of appreciating, the detriment of understanding the premium that you will place on lives first before you even talk on property. Look at this cartoon again. He said, hello, you ask a worker, where is your PPE? The worker say, okay, leave that one alone. And God, they save everybody. And what that implies is, they do this work for how many years? So health and safety is not the issue. Forget the issue of accident. Not my portion. God forbid it not happen to me. In Jesus' name, la ilaha illallah, we now start putting religious sentiment into occupational safety and health, which can lead to a lot of death that we are also still counting, which is unfair even to the people. Now that health and safety is going to become an human rights issue, then there is need for the professionals to sit tight and see how we can protect people's life. In every organization, including all of you, my audience that are here, your staff are divided into two. I've been able to do this research to say staff are divided into two. The first type of staff are non-compliant workers. They will never follow your rule. They believe nothing you are talking about. They believe we know all these things. They believe we can never die. They believe, look, we don't need you to tell us what to do. We will not do anything. Safety is not our concern. Those are non-compliant workers. The second type of worker are compliant workers. Compliant workers are hypocritical, very hypocrites. Those ones, when they see you, they do safety. When you go away, they say the stupid safety man is going. The best type of worker are the committed worker. Those who believe my family needs me. Those who believe safety is what is most important reason why I'm working. Not even because of the money. Because the company pays you salary, safety takes you home. Those are the people that we should all be aiming to get in our various organizations. That is why the safety culture of the organization is very critical, supported by very powerful leadership, so that at the end of the day, you can reach the level where you are having workers not having incident because every worker knows what to do at the right time, in the right place, at the right location to achieve the desire and the right result. Having said all this as introduction to what we are talking about, we all know accident happens, shortcut, overconfidence, ignoring safety procedure, mental distraction, and a lot of others. And the truth is, Invisible and felt leadership is very critical. A lot of competing priorities. You see safety operations, safety and productions fighting themselves. We are saying we don't need to fight ourselves. What we need is to have a safe operation. What we need to have is a safe production. Work together, work inside with organizational goal, and we achieve more. We've talked about safety culture and health and safety compliance. And that is why Vision Zero came with our 7 golden rules under the 3 pretexts of philosophy: safety, health, and well-being. With 7 golden rules, to show that, look, all of us should have value for health and safety. No one should suffer pain. Then we should have a belief that all accident can be prevented. Of course, an attitude that shows that zero tolerance of unsafe behavior, which if you analyze it with a good behavior, that everyone looks out for themselves and others. Why I look out for you, I look out for other people too. Remember the basic concept of life. It is better to correct an unsafe friend than to bury one. So we work all together. With all the things I've analyzed, with all the incidents I have mentioned, with analysis I have done critically on health and safety, very briefly, I'm saying today, if you want to manage health and safety of any organization, irrespective of the organization, the people are very important. Processes must be put in place for us to have performance. And that I'm saying is system approach. When you have system, not individual, when you have system, not just doing the way we like, we can always sit down and see the system to drive the culture, drive the leadership, and make everything work. The system must be based on the plan, do, check, and act. According to Professor Demi, you need to plan, you need to start doing, performing what you have planned, you need to start monitoring what you are doing by conducting internal audit, by doing performance measurement, by doing management review. You need to now start to think of how do I improve the system. No system is 100% efficient or 100% sustainable, 100% okay. You need to continue to improve. It is a journey and not a destination. There is no company in this country, and I repeat this, my statement, there is no company in this country that can tell me that they are operating a management system of health and safety 100%, that if you come to audit them, you will not see area that they can also improve. I'm bound to be corrected. There is not. Mention any company, mention Shell, mention anybody of them, mention Chevron, they are still having a way to improve. Look, if you bring third eye into a system, you will see what you are not seeing before. So 45,001 is the world first international standard on occupational health and safety. Number 1 is the only one. I know some people will ask me a question. What of OSAS 18,001, 2007? That OSAS is not an international standard. It was done very good by some certification bodies and some professionals, very fantastic. They did a very good job. I celebrate them, but it was not an ISO standard. It was not international. At that point, you have OSAS 18,001, 2007. Americans don't subscribe to it. Instead, Americans have what we call ANSI Z10. That's the area they subscribe to, and not OSAS at all. With some other countries, forget whether Nigeria can join anyone Nigeria wants to join, but that is just the truth of the matter. So the only standard today, international standard, only one for the whole world on health and safety is ISO 45,001 2018, which came forward on the 12th of March 2018, and experts developing from different countries in the world, from different professional groups. And the only difference this standard has with other standards based on the high-level structure and XXL is that if you go to clause 5 of this standard, every other standard called clause 5, they call it leadership. But this standard did not stop at leadership. It calls it leadership and workers' participation. What that implies is leadership must be committed and workers must be involved. It is when you involve me in the activities of an organization that will take ownership of that activity. The standard believes that if you don't involve the worker, if you don't carry the workers along, if workers are not participating in what you do, then automatically we will not be able to achieve. That is why under clause 5.4 of that same standard, it's a consultation and participation. You have leaders there, you have workers, you do a lot of things to make them to be involved in organization. We still come to each of them to analyze what is expected of you, so that a lot of companies have documents. Documents are too many. This is not all about documents. It's about if it will work and you are illegally people along. Everybody knows what and what we are talking about. I've been to an audit before, and I left the HSC manager, left everybody in the company. I went to audit a man in the workshop. I asked the man, what are the hazards in this workshop? He said there is no hazard in this workshop. Whereas the hazard register of the company has all the hazard in workshop. We are not talking of paperwork here. You can have hazard register, but people are not involved in what you have done. So they will not take ownership of it. So therefore, if you implement as 45,001 2018, your legislative compliance will be done, your operational excellence will be very fantastic, you have competitive edge from other competitors, your business becomes more sustainable, you are taking corporate responsibility so serious, corporate governance is so serious in your business, you can play in the world, you can play with World Bank, you can play with AFDB, and you can look for opportunities to get loan in big organizations when you have it in place. The standard has 10 clauses. Out of the 10 clauses, clause 1 to 3 are not auditable. Only clause 4 that we'll be talking about more, because from clause 4 to clause 10, that is the clause that are auditable. So from clause 1, scope, clause 2, normative reference, definitions, all those ones are standard. They are the same everywhere in the world. So let's look at them very well. You start from clause 4 and you take it to enter up to clause 10. So from this clause 4, what does it talk about? If you look at it very well, as I've captured here, from 4, 5, leadership worker participation, 6, planning, 7, support, 8, operations, 9, performance evaluation, and 10 is to improve the system. Let us analyze the clauses one after the other. Clause 4, I will make it very brief, but I will touch the real thing we need to know. I will make it like a mini-sketch approach. A mini-sketch is very short, but it covers the center of excellence. So also today, mini-sketch approach is going to be used, and we need to cover the center of excellence. Under the context of organization, we don't want people health and safety to be thinking my role is just to check PPE, my role is just to ensure compliance with PPE. No, we want you to play at the strategic level of the organization. We want you to go to clause 4.1 to talk about the external and internal issues that can affect health and safety in the organization. Is it the safety culture, which is internal? Is it the regulatory issues that can affect health and safety in the business? I'll give you a very case study. Look at a company called GoKada, a company called OPay. They started good job. That is Okada, well organized. But when the government came, they sanctioned, it becomes a serious issue. They don't do it again. What I'm trying to say there is that is an external OHS issue of their business, because government came forward and said accidents are still happening to all this Okada. That was what government said. We have to say, everybody go. Don't operate in Lagos again. So therefore, if you look at your internal issues, you look at your external issues with respect to your health and safety, you'll be able to know what to put in place, how you can monitor it. That is what the context is talking about. As a business, you have a vision. And remember, in life, if a man has no eyes, the man is blind, virtually impaired. If a man has no vision, the man is dead. The same thing to organization. Your vision, your mission comes under this context. So health and safety is playing at the strategic level of the business, playing at the tactical level of the business, playing at the operational level of the business. Don't make yourself only operational. And that is why clause 4.2 talks about meeting the needs and expectations of interested parties. Who are your interested parties? Who are your stakeholders that have a role to play in your organization? You talk about your staff are stakeholders. You talk about your board is a stakeholder. You talk about regulators are stakeholders. You talk about people that have a say, or organizations that have a say, that have influence, that have impact on your health and safety in your organization. Do you know that if you don't manage the regulator very well, which means you don't comply, please take note. Very well here. It's not for you to jeopardize corporate governance. I'm not talking of giving them money. I'm not talking of settling them. When I say getting them well here, I'm talking of meeting the regulatory, and statutory provision of health and safety. When you meet your health and safety regulations, you don't need to give anybody any money, because you are on top of what you are doing. I always demand from people, when people say, I want to audit you, I not ask the people, what is your criteria of audit? And what are who are the auditors? Let me see your criteria first to know that you can even audit me or not. Because if you are auditing anybody, there must be a criteria. The truth of the matter is this: most of us have left the gap not to understand our context of the business. What are the regulators stand? What is the regulations that we must follow? A good health and safety professional must know all this, and you must capture them. That is why we go back to this standard under clause 6. Under clause 9.1.2, when it talks about getting what we refer to as compliance, evaluating your compliance with your regulation. A lot of us don't understand this, and we allow our regulations to just go that way. And people now know that we are violated. People now know we don't know what we are doing again. So they will come and quickly come to attack us. And we don't have any other thing than to start giving money. And so 45,001 2018 does not want that, on corporate governance level to happen in our business. Please take note, under clause 6.1.3, you need to sit down and have your legal register. What are the health and safety regulations? I repeat, what are the health and safety regulations? Not just other regulations that are not health and safety. That's what the standard says. Health and safety, legal, and other requirements. Other requirements could be some of the contracts you have signed with some organization, some contract you have signed with some companies. Those are other legal requirements. Now, when you talk of legal requirements, it must be health and safety, strictly health and safety, that has impact on the people. Don't just bring any regulations that is not health and safety related. I've seen some organizations where they will put it there. They will want to, in their legal register, they will put NESRA Act 2007. What concerns NESRA with occupational health and safety? NESRA is environmental management. So please note what you put in your 6.1.3, your legal register, and then know what you are evaluating their compliance. So when you understand this context of organization, you'll be able to know what people need. How many of us have known that health and safety today, you can develop a CSR to help communities, speak about fire, talk about fraud, talk about things that can affect communities, and make it CSR of your company. That is meeting the needs and expectations of your interested party. Maybe your community, you are meeting their needs. I give you a good example. I started to use power and interest matrix the moment this standard was established to analyze the power and influence of people. Let me go to that clause 4.2 to meet the needs and expectations of interested party. And let me give you one interested party. That is your board, the board of your company. The board of your company, do they have power on you? The power on the system? The answer is yes. The power is high. The board of your company, if the power is high, what of their interest in the company, health and safety? They are also interested in it, very, very high. So when I and I meet, what do you see? Manage closely. That means you must manage your board closely with respect to health and safety. Because if there are accidents in your company, if they shut down your company, it will affect profitability and the board will be unhappy with you. If you take regulator as a case study, regulator power on your company, regulator influence on your company is very, very high. And their interest also is not for you to start causing accidents, it's not for you to fail. Their interest is also high. Manage closely. In some companies, let's take contractor. Contractor power influencing your company most times is very, very low. Contractor is low, but interest of contractor in health and safety will make them to go back to the family and do work for you. Interest is also high. When you see low and high, low and high, you stop here. Low and high, keep them informed. Keep your contractors informed on your health and safety, and that is why if you check the standard order clause 8.1.4.2, it talks straight about contractors. They must understand what you face. They must know what you do. They must follow your health and safety rule. That is what you must note in the standard. And I've given an example here. We are going to share this slide with you. And I've explained this one here with that power and interest matrix. So you can see how health and safety is playing at a strategic level to understand the internal and external issues. Some people use SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, while some use spectrum analysis. Whichever one we use, all we are doing and all we know is use the one that have impact on your health and safety and make you be part of the context of the organization. Thus, number 5, leadership and worker participation. This is so simple. This is so direct. Leadership is so important, and workers must be involved. Leadership itself is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Anywhere you are, if your vision cannot be translated into reality, then you are not a leader. And that was what happened in 1987 when Paul O'Neill, the CEO of Aqua, a known company of America, when he was made the CEO, we saw what he did. He told everybody, I'm going to make safety a priority. I'm going to make safety, a value, not priority, value. And everybody there started thinking, how can safety be used to make money? He went into that and was able to make safety, to make billions of money from 3.7 billion to 27.5 billion.
I think we have network issues there. Okay, I believe he's going to join us very soon. All right. So, in fact, this thing caught me unprepared. Things like this used to happen. Yeah, while we wait for our okay.
Hello?
Yes, hello?
The network is clear. The man was actually clear. For me, just so I can see, I don't much pay attention to the TV. I have to get through this. So the network is fine.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Do we need some questions?
We are still on. We are still on. I think we lost him due to network issues. He's going to join us very soon.
Yeah, I think it will be advisable if you can just do a little recap. So we are going to be having him back on the call.
Okay. Please, I think he just called me now, please.
Hello, Mr. Wale, can I be heard?
Please, can go on.
Yeah, just like someone just tweeted, it seems the group's capacity might be a bit difficult for Engineer Jami Badmus to join us because it seems we've reached the maximum limit of 100. So can you confirm if the capacity can take more than 100?
I think the limit is 100. I think it's 100.
198 presently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm back. I'm sorry for logging off and we couldn't come back again because we have reached capacity. Sincere apology. Oh, don't exit for me. Muideen Moshood, thank you so much. I'm in back. Thank you. Can you hear me, please?
Yes,
confirm you can hear me.
We can hear you, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, we are hearing you, sir. We are hearing you, sir.
You know, please, my moderator, can you allow me to share my screen? Can you make it? Thank you. So while they are waiting to share the screen, I need to continue the class. You see, under clause 5, we talk of management, leadership and commitment 5.1. This commitment goes a lot of ways for you to show commitment to health and safety. Number 1, your leaders, your MDs, your top management, do they have budget for health and safety? Budget for health and safety implies that we have, no problem, with budget for health and safety, we can say, yes, you are spending money financially in support of health and safety. What of meetings? When you have health and safety meetings, does your management, they come to the meetings just once a while? The attendance to meeting and making the impact of action plan from the meeting to work shows a lot of commitment in the organization. What of the areas that is time management? Don't worry, they drop money for you. What of the management undergoing what we call facility safety assessment? Them coming to move around and go around the organization and see what is happening with respect to safety inspections. Don't you know that these are evidences to show that management is committed? These are evidences to show that leadership are committed. These are evidences to show that we are having what we call visible and fair leadership. These are evidences to show that our leaders are Vision Zero leaders. They believe they don't want accidents to happen. It is beyond having the health and safety policy. One thing is to have the policy based on clause 5.2 and signed by them. But take note, if they don't sign it, it is also not a crime with respect to the standard. But the most important thing we need to know here is having health and safety policy is a commitment from the top based on clause 5.2. However, this policy must be driven by action, not by paperwork. They must come once a time. Look at this man here, the MD of a company, testing workplace safety standard. Look at where he is standing. That is enough to show that this company will not have good health and safety culture, because it is not what I say that we will follow. It is what you do that people are going to follow. The standard is very clear to explain what it takes to have leadership and commitment. The standard is so clear. If you go and check the standard under clause 5.1M, it said the top management, you must support establishment of a functioning health and safety committees. Health and safety committees is now very important in your organization, and you must support it. You must ensure that that committee is working. That does not mean that you must be there as CEO, but once a while, top management can attend. Put some people in top management to be part of that committee, and before you know it, everybody will be serious. How do you see it? If the CEO of a company and some top management just enter the power plant, just enter the plant, manufacturing plant, once a while, and staff know they can come, and staff know that when they come, there's always what we call reward system in the company, where they reward the staff. Don't you know that to make staff to put in more effort to be able to say our leaders are committed? Let me give you another good example that one can use in your organization and bring in family into the business. I'll give you an example. Let's assume you've worked for 2 years as a manufacturing company, 2 years as a construction company with many man hours that you have done, special hours, and there was no accident. LTI equal to 0. Most organizations, what we do, we wear t-shirts, we play, we do a lot of program. Very good, we are doing good job. Our management are doing well to support it. As leadership, commitment. We can add more value to it. Why not even do what we call Family Safety Day, where everybody in your company will bring one member of their family, and because we are celebrating LTI of 0, everybody gather together with your management, and the family are there, wives of husband, husbands of wives, and they are hearing safety talk, they are thanking themselves, and a lot of programs join together. Taking safety to a different level. That is using what we call family emotional bond as leaders. Before you know it, everybody will move towards doing safety. And the wife will tell their husband at home, safety is very important. So clause 5.2, your policy. When you are doing policy, a lot of us here, HSC professionals, will draft the policy and will send to management. Management will put their signature, and that is all about health and safety policy. Our colleagues, that people don't even know how we do it. The next thing we do is we put it in the frame and paste it everywhere, because policy must be communicated in line with clause 5.2. But the truth of the matter is Engage people in your policy. I always tell people, if you have health and safety policy and you want people to understand it, draft it as health and safety professional, send it to all the staff, let them look at it, get their input. Before they can give you input, they have to read it, they've read it. After that, make some correction, send to your leadership team, they look at it. After that, give to CEO, she looks at it or he looks at it, then you sign it. What that means is that you are carrying everybody along. Don't make safety, don't make safety a self operation. Only you and your people, only you and HSC people understand what you are doing. Because if you meet a good auditor, he will not ask you a question much. He will ask people on the field more questions, and they are going to just be talking different from what you have in the book. Health and safety is not about paperwork. It's not about written policy that is there. Yes, I want you to do it, but let the team, go through all the people and they understand what they are doing. Under clause 5.3, it is very important to all of us to know health and safety is about every one of us. If you check, and I repeat, just check the play mirror. The person you see on the play mirror is responsible for your safety. I am sure you are going to see yourself. That is, every one of us in the company must have our roles and responsibilities and authorities with respect to health and safety. Therefore, this particular aspect of roles and responsibility is a documented information. It is very important. Auditor can ask to see what is the role of level 1, what is the role of your senior manager, what is the role of your top management. So health and safety, you must document it. It is very, very important. That is why safety becomes what is general to everybody, and everybody must do. Then you go to clause 5.4, consultation and participation. People must be involved in what you do. Consultation and participation. Your workers must be part of your health and safety. Consultation and participation. Not only having health and safety meetings we are talking about here, that is very important. It's also consultation. You can also have other ways to make your staff to participate in what you do. What of your survey? When last do you do health and safety survey for the people to comment on what you are doing in health and safety and put a place what we call what is their own advice, their recommendation. They must be able to give you recommendation when you are talking about safety. Don't think you know all as HSC professional. Give room for people to also give you what we call what. I'm trying to slide the slide again, sorry.
Very clear, sir.
Can we see the slide?
Very clear, sir.
That was cut out, seeing something different. Okay, thank you very much. So responsibility at all levels is very critical, and that participation you can do what we refer to as, survey. Survey can make workers to participate in what you do. You can also organize programs like the safety assembly, where once in a month or twice in a month, every staff gather together to do real safety assembly. You bring the speaker, you call people like Prof will be there to assist you. You bring them to your company, they speak to the people, and before you know it, a lot of things are changing in your company. Plus number 6 is all about what we call risk and opportunity with objective. That is why I put it here. People support what they help to create. Plus 6 is planning. And this planning deals with 6.1, action to address risk and opportunity. And of course, 6.2, your health and safety objectives and the plans that you want to use to achieve the objective. Hazard identification is under plus 6.1. How do you get to hazard? What are the ways to get to hazard? That is fantastic. But don't forget, plus 8.1.2 speaks to control, hierarchy of control of your hazard, starting from elimination. We are going to implement it in this plus 6.1. And this 6.1, we are expected to get 2 critical things here. One is occupational health and safety hazard register that covers all the hazards of your operation. But you are doing it as health and safety alone. Only you are very brilliant, you are intelligent, you are the father of safety. You are doing it alone. What it will lead into is people will not take ownership. They will not understand it. If you like, send it to them to read. They will not read it. Engage people, engage departments, engage HODs to see their health and safety risk. I've got an audit before, and I asked a simple question. Do you eat in this company? Do you have canteen? They say yes. How do you get your food? They say they bring the food from home. That is the vendor. And I ask a simple question. Can food poisoning happen from the food they carry? They say yes. Do you go to inspect the food vendors where he's doing it? They say no. So therefore, that's a critical hazard. Food poisoning can kill 2 or 3 of your staff, and that is the end. It is not stated in your operational health and safety hazard register. So what is that register about? It's about only you. You sit down somewhere, you are the best in life, so you just created another register, a document that nobody knows what it is there. This is not what the standard is saying. You must let people be involved and know what is there. When you are creating objectives, I've seen people they create objective and send it to all departments. This is your objective. They will never take ownership. The standard don't want it to be that way. If you share the standard very well, it is very clear on your objective. That when you have objectives, you must also present to us what are the ways you are going to achieve the objective. Not just having objective, you must give us 100 plus 6.2.2. What are the plans for you to achieve the objectives? What will be done? What resources will be required? Who will be responsible? When will it be completed? This is what we call agile way of working. You need to put documentations so that it is agile. And that means you must have action. But like most of us, we have all these documents, but people cannot speak to them. We need to understand what this standard is saying. The company can have as 45,001. When you get there, nothing is happening there. Why? Because it is all about document. It is not about the people. It is about the paper. And when you make it on paper, paper will just be show me, I show you auditor. Those ones you are going to pass them. When you meet auditors like me, you will not likely survive it because I'm not going to be doing paper to paper. Show me, I show you. I don't do that. I go straight to understand what you do, and when I need anything to verify and validate, I ask. But most times I will not ask if I see that what you are doing is working in line with the process. So this is how you do that. Very important, because risk and opportunity are two sides of the same coin. You must have health and safety risk and opportunity register, and you must have health and safety register on its own that is purely health and safety. For example, I'll give an example here. This is a simple risk and opportunity register. Please take note. The standard does not say that you must follow ISO 31000. The standard does not say you must follow COSO framework. The standard just wants you to document it in a simple way. But if in your company you are very sound, you can use enterprise risk management framework. It is fantastic. Don't be it. It's kudos to you. But make sure people understand what you are doing. Look at this table. Now, very simple. Managing mental health from COVID. And the next thing is it tells you what are the issues there, and it tells you what are the opportunity after you put the control in place. That is how it is said. Clause number 7, that is support. It is clause number 7 that we have issues of resources. 7.1, you have issues of resources, you have issues of competence, you have issues of awareness, you have communication, and you have documented information. And what this one is telling us with resources, we look at your infrastructure, we look at your organization, we look at what you have carried out, your facility safety assessment that you carry out that shows your infrastructure, that shows what you have in place, because we need infrastructure to establish good health and safety management system. You don't have good office, you have offices with a lot of hazards that can cause accident with immediate effect, and such a place becomes a difficulty for us. Other plus 7.1. But 7.2 talks about competence. As an organization, where is your health and safety training plan or training matrix? Then how are you implementing this training matrix? We need to make our workers to be competent. I told you before, I went to do an audit, I left HSC alone, they took me to a place, and I said, this is a workshop. I called not the workshop manager, a young guy in the workshop who is doing a great job. What are your hazards of the operation? He said no hazard. Then that will make me to think very fast. This company, they don't have what we call clause 7.2a, when it says they shall determine the necessary competence of their workers. That means they've not determined it. They just have a paper training matrix that is not functional. And of course, the standard says that we must, and I repeat, please take note, you can check the standard anywhere you are. Under clause 7.2b, it said workers must be competent, and that competence is including how to identify hazards. If a worker cannot identify hazards, that worker is not competent. Under clause 7.2b, I will give you a non-conformity. And I will be ready to support it because The organization have hazard register, the organization have training plan, but I'm not seeing the impact of what you do on the worker. If I go further to ask, and you say you have trained them, I check the attendance record, I check evaluation of the attendance you have done, because under clause 7.2c, I said that, look, where applicable, whatever you are doing, we need to evaluate that our effectiveness, whether the action to train people, whether it is taking cognizance of the competence of the people. And I will ask you for documented information, like attendance, like certificates, like others, because sometimes some workers are dullard. Maybe those ones are the ones that are causing the problem. But I can do sampling. If I do sampling, and I see that through my sampling, it is all of them. For competence level, I have found you not to have done well. And clause 7.3, which speaks to awareness. I'll look at our awareness on health and safety, our awareness on ISO 45001/2018. Check your attendance, see how you create awareness to people on incidents. Look, the truth of the matter is this. If we go to clause 10.1, when we talk about clause 10 on its own improvement, 10.1 talks about your incidents you have investigated. How many of us investigate incidents and still come back to the people to cascade the feedback from the incident you have investigated as a lesson for incident, or you create it as what went wrong, so that everybody can understand. The reason for investigating incidents is to be able to look at it and let it look at the root causes of the incident and put in place a corrective action so that incident will not repeat itself. But a lot of us, what we do, we investigate incidents, we submit reports, and that is the end. We don't go back to the people. Look at Occupational bridge incident. It's happening almost every time, and people want solution to it. They have investigated more than 1 million times. No solution till now. Your recommendations, do you send it to people? Are people aware? Are the drivers aware? Very important. We are going to test this under clause 7.3 also, under awareness. Check the standard. Under clause 7.3, awareness. Under clause 7.3, 3C, 3D. It talks about incident and outcome of your investigation. How are they relevant to people? How are you promoting it? How are you telling people about the incident? Very, very important. Then we go to communication 7.4. Communication is very key, both internal and external communication. How do you carry it out? A lot of us today, we don't have health and safety communication plan, because that plan will show what to communicate, how to communicate, who to communicate. You know, you'll be able to know, have your communication in a very planned manner, in a very good manner. But a lot of us today, you say you do bulletin, your bulletin, what is the frequency? You say you do alert, what is the frequency? You say you do a flashcard, what is the frequency? Standard wants you to know or to have what you call a communication plan. You agree with me, when you are doing all these things I'm talking about, you are going to have a robust management system that will move the organization forward. So communication is very key. You need to know, what are we going to communicate? Who are we going to communicate to? What's the frequency of communication? You need to understand how to manage your communication with your contractor, because the standard is very clear. You are saying you are communicating. Who are you communicating to? A lot of us, we miss this part. This part, we miss it. We don't do it. No, we start bulletin anyhow we like, any day we like. No, we need to have a communication plan, OHS communication plan, to manage this critical aspect. By the time you have this in place, you are monitoring yourself to see I'm really doing well. And that makes it to have impact on the business using up to 45,001 for internal and external communication that are very important. For example, let's say a regulator sends you a letter to your office. Find a very good way to document these documents of external auditors. I can be able to relate with them. The essence of documented information plus 7.5 is for us to be able to know where our documents are, our filing processes, and be able to know the control numbers of those documents. Please take note. A document that is not controlled will not be acceptable. And that is why plus 7.52, the standard talks about how you create and update your document. You need to have document control number, because this is control of documented information. And at the end of the day, we want to check. Two documents cannot have the same number. Plus 7 has gone, then plus 8. Plus 8 is operation. A plus 8, very, very critical as a clause. Plus 8 is operation. And operation, if you check the first one, you will notice very well, health and safety and production, they are always fighting. Health and safety and operations always fighting in most organizations. Why this fight? If production is talking about profitability Health and safety is talking about the people, and you have said the sustainability, the people will make the company to be profitable. Why not all come together and make your health and safety not to be shut down the system fast, and then those ones start fighting you. I cannot shut down. Why not work together to have a safe production? Why not get someone who is not following your consequence, who is not following your compliance rules? Maybe you have life-saving rules, and somebody is not following your life-saving rules, and you get the person who says shut down the whole system. Let the person cancel the person, let him follow your rule, let him continue the work, for adding value to business. Don't make it come outside from the work. Go away from the side. Go away, stupid people are following safety rules. And they will to do some punishment, punitive measure, and they will to introduce serious and good reward system. Without the reward system, if you change the cycle of people to do safety very well. What is wrong if you establish what we call CEO safety breakfast, where once in a quarter, the CEO will be in our office, they do breakfast, tea, everything, and people come to eat and wine with CEO. Those who are safety conscious, everybody show the pictures to all the staff. Everybody who want to participate. Make safety what we be embracing. Make safety what talks about human life. Make safety what deals with humanity. Yes, you are going to punish. Yes, you must have punitive measure, and you must do it. But create a reward system also can also undo a lot of things. The standard wants you under your operational planning and control, your permit to work system, all your operational control, your log out, tag out, try out, everything that you have that are operational control. Please don't joke with them. They are extremely very important for you to be able to manage your health and safety under clause 8.1. And under clause 8.2, simply go straight to your hazards and risk. You need to start thinking of how to eliminate hazard and reduce your risk. Risk can never be equal to zero. It is impossible. Hazard can be zero, but never risk. Therefore, what are you going to do? You need to look at the hierarchical control of hazard, from elimination to substitution to engineering control, later to administrative control, and to personal protective equipment. Yes, it's very good to wear PPE. Yes, it is very nice, but ensure that other controls will support you based on that hierarchy. And that is why PPE is not supposed to be bought by staff. Companies are supposed to get it from them. Please go and check the Factory Act number 47. It's clearly written there. Company is to give PPE to staff. They don't turn PPE to normal clothes that you wear without following the real rules. Don't forget clause 8.13, management of change. Management of change is different from change management. The standard is very clear. When you have an organization, when you bring in new products, new services, new processes, your workplace location and surrounding changes, organization changes, new equipment, all these ones that you bring in, or changes in your legal requirements, or you have some new knowledge of risk, technology is coming into your company. All those new things you see will constitute how to do management of change. Quickly look how you plan and control any changes that happen in the organization. So management of change is different from change management. Change management is all about human resource, that is people, changing the orientation of people. Management of change, I've told you what can lead into it, what can make us to do it, MOC. Very important, because you don't do management of change, and accident will happen as a result of the new things that is just brought into the system. And clause 8.14, procurement. Your procurement in your company is health and safety put as part of the conditions to bring people into the organization, because it's very clear. You have to establish your procurement processes that allow your services and products to be conformity to the standard. So if they're bringing products that is going to cause problems to the people, then you need to monitor the procurement of sources out of your contractors. Your contractors, sorry, it just went off again. Please, can you hear me, please? Am I audible?
Yes, you are, sir.
Yes, you are.
It went again. Thank you, my
audible.
I thank you, the audience. I'm not too fast. I'm working within the time. I'm sorry if I'm too fast. It's just like working within the time. There is sincere apology for that. So therefore, if you look at that, clause 8.1.4, which talks about procurement, and clause 8.1.42, strictly speaks directly to what we call contractor. Contractor safety management is very critical in health and safety. Some of the accidents that are happening in most organizations that are caused by the contractor. Please, you need to have a very robust contractor safety management. I give you a case study. The contractor will ask them to do job hazard analysis. They submitted the paper to you with the risk assessment of their project, and you collected it, and you don't look at the suitability of that job hazard analysis. As an health and safety professional in line with this standard, you have failed this standard, because the standard wants you as an organization to put in place a process that you can monitor the activities and operations of the contractor, as it may affect the organization. Because when contractor dies, because when contractor has injury in organization, you can't go back and say contractor injury is contractor. Contractor injury is not the company. They are not part of us. The standard don't want you to behave that way. So contractor safety management is very critical for you, and you must document, not just only document of DHA that you're like DHA, they deceive you. They bring somebody in, you just grab this for them, they give you. The standard doesn't want that aspect. The standard wants you to have your oversight function, check what you do, check the operations of the contractor. If you check the standard, plus 8.1.4.2 A and B speaks to what I'm talking about. Even C speaks to it also. And you must look at what they do, your interested parties, contractor, their activities in the organization. Please, the standard also put it. You must put in place a system that you are going to apply selection criteria for selecting your contractor. In Nigeria today, a lot of companies have selection criteria, but they are not effective. You know why they're not effective? It's because they just demand them for paper. People carry all the paper. HSC professionals are very good to cook up paper. They cook it for the company, they submit it, they will pass. But when you come to the operational activities, the company don't know what they are doing. People don't know the answer that they put there. People don't understand the DHA. It's only known by one person in the organization. No, this standard wants you, your selection of contractor, do it very well, because this will prevent accidents from happening. Plus 8.1.4.3 speaks to what we call outsourcing. Outsourcing is a good model. Outsourcing is very fantastic. Outsourcing is not bad. The cleaners, the security guards, they are outsourced functions. So therefore, as health and safety professional who is understanding at 45,001, you must put processes in place to control the activity of outsourced process. You must control it. You must be able to know what they do and manage what they do. Let me give you one very critical example. In a company one day, World Bank was coming to visit the company. They want to get World Bank loan. The World Bank team, 3 people, they come into the country and they went to the company straight. When they were talking in the boardroom, one of the World Bank, the leader, said he wants to use the restroom, and he went to the restroom. On getting to the restroom was messed up. The guy started vomiting, came out and said the restroom is started vomiting. They rushed him to the hospital. My colleagues present here, because a cleaner did not clean well, the company lost that loan contract. Straight, because the lead that will write the report has been lost out as a result of unhygienic restroom, which is also part of occupational health and safety. And they lost every issues based on the contract and the loan. You can see how cleaner, according to you, ordinary cleaner to you can mess up an organization. So therefore, we need to make sure we monitor our sort process. It's very important. Monitor it very well, do the needful, and let everything be done accordingly. Plus 8.2, emergency preparedness and response is very key. A lot of us have this in place, and we say medical emergency, fire emergency, but I must confess, leaders present today, we do more of fire emergency. Only fire we do, and we leave other ones alone. And fire drill, you read alarm, and you show me that this fire drill, you show me that this is the fire drill we have done, and I go further, because the standard is very clear. But as an organization under plus 8.2, you are expected to establish, implement, and maintain all the potential emergency situation. Can somebody not faint in your company? Can someone not collapse in your company? That is medical emergency. Ogandare is there. The first aiders, they're all here. Why are you leaving your emergency medical aspect of it and leave it alone? And all you do is only only, and I repeat, only fire. And the standard is very clear. The standard under that same clause, clause 8.2.2a, especially. That one said you must plan all your emergency situation. He now make you to know, including first aid. The standard said it. You can claim that standard didn't talk about it, so I may not do it. Go and check it. Clause 8.2a. The standard said it that you must have response for all your situations, including first aid. How many of us here is our company have first aid trained people? If you have first aid trained people, do people know where they are? Are they really trained? They do drill. Start asking questions. You test your drill. When I say test your drill, you create somebody to faint one day and see how your guys respond to such people. How many of us have AEDs, automated external defibrillators? How many of us have those to be able to complement, emergencies in our organization? How many of us evaluate when you have emergency drill? Do you send it back, report feedback to all the staff to know your response? Somebody said drill must be done every month. Another one said drill must be done every quarter. Another one said drill must be done every 1 year. Look, you can structure your drill based on your organizational operations. That determines how you structure your own drill. You don't need to copy another company. Look at your situation and do it very well. The standard is very clear under this same clause, 8.2, that you must maintain all the documented information of all the processes with respect to your emergency response. It's very, very important. And you must make sure that you communicate relevant information to your contractor, to your visitor, to anybody that comes to your organization, including local community, with respect to emergency response. If we don't see that, we can query you for that. Why are you not, communicating some of these things to your people? Clause 9, remember, a prepared organization is a safe organization. He who fails to plan, plans to fail. You must plan for emergency scenarios, and you must act that emergency scenarios. At the end of the day, put all your company into understanding in case it happens, what do we do? Clause 9 speaks to what we call performance evaluation. How do you do? Can we ask Shamaka to? Okay, thank you. So this has to do with a lot of issues. Number one, how do you monitor? How do you measure your performance? What are the things that in your own organization you need to put in place and you monitor? What are the areas? What are the measuring instruments? For example, you have instruments that are metered, a metering instrument. They need to be calibrated. Are you calibrating them? Are you calibrating all these, your pressure valve, pressure gauge, and other things that need to be calibrated? Your fire extinguishers, are you able to service them? All these falls under your clause 9.1. You need to tell us how you are doing it, to document how you are doing it. Some of them require valid results and certifications. You need to show us based on your legal and other requirements. Calibration is very key, and you must be able to keep to us all the documents based on calibration. Plus 9.12, you need to tell us how you evaluate your compliance to the legal register that you mentioned in clause 6.1.3. We need to see how do you make sure that as an organization you are complying with this legal register. Before we go to clause 9.2, internal audit, that one is a topic on its own for another day. How do you carry out internal audit? What is it all about? My leader present here, of course, the moderator, that is another day. How to audit a management system based on ISO 19011 2018 and ISO 17021. That is another day. A day we can hopefully try to manage ourselves with the time. So in terms of audit, we need to understand the audit criteria, and of course, you must make sure when you are selecting your auditors in your organization, you must have internal audit program. In that your program, auditors cannot audit their own process. And that is why clause 9.2, clause 9.2.2 C talk about how you select auditors so you can have objectivity and impartiality. All these auditors, you must know, if I'm in HR as an auditor, I can't audit HR process. That is to enhance impartiality and objectivity. It is in the standard. It is there. It is also repeated in ISO 19011 you also see there, audit must be objective. Impartiality must not be in audit, very important. And that is the area we now talk about 9.3. After your audit, then you submit report, you close out the audit report, the management review will set it. Please take note. I want to say one thing here. In the management review in the standard, don't forget the standard is said what must be input in the management review and output. As a good HSE professional, make sure all the input in the standards, everything are there. You read the input and make sure you can add more input to the input, or don't reduce the input based on the standard. Then for the output, you can add more. Don't limit yourself to the standard. You can go further depending on your business. But what the standard says are input. Don't forget to talk about them. Management review. Management review does not mean that the top management must sit down and talk. If they are busy, they cannot sit down. You can organize it in other special way. For example, you can collect all your reports, send to them for review. They review it in their offices. They get it back to you. You do the action plan. You send to them. They approve it. That is also management review. Provided you follow this standard. The standard does not say they must sit down, CEO presiding, and know the way we need to think. No, that is not the standard is saying. Improvement. Improvement plus 10.1 is general. We need to improve because management review, internal audit is to improve us. So improvement is fantastic. But we can check plus 10.2. Plus 10.2 talks about incident, in non-conformity part, and corrective action. And leaders present, and colleagues present, we always investigate incident. Sometimes we do it on our own. We are not following what this standard is saying. The process of incident investigation must be done in a timely manner. I come to you and we investigated this incident, come to your company, incident happened in January 1st, and in March, they are still doing investigation, just start investigation. You are more or less wasting time because the standard is very clear. Under clause 10.2a, it said, whenever you see any non-conformity or incident, you must quickly react. You must quickly attack it very, very fast. And you must quickly take action and correct it. And you must deal with the consequences. And that is very clear. Let's follow this. It is clear, written. This is our scripture in health and safety. This is what we need to follow. It's our Bible, it's our Quran. When you are trying to do your investigation, make sure that when you review it, you do everything very well. You are determining the causes of the incident, but making sure that everybody understands. People must look at the new risk, any risk coming up from the incident, and you must allow people to see. Don't make incident report secretive. It's not secretive. People need to know in your company. They look at the effectiveness of any action you take, including your corrective action. And what it is important is when you investigate an accident and you are able to determine the root causes and are able to put in place corrective action, I swear to the God I worship, such incident will likely not really happen. That similar one. So you need to go deeper. You need to go through. That is a different topic on its own. Incident investigation and reporting. Using any tools you like, whether triple better, whether tap root, whether pipe wise, anyone you like. But the most important thing is getting to the root cause so you can treat the real thing and not the symptoms. And clause 10.3 talks about continual improvement. There is no way, no matter how good we are, we cannot be doing everything without having continual improvement. So for 2001, 2018 is not a destination. A lot of companies has this. It is not a problem. Congratulations for having it, but are you really implementing it well? That is the question. So please take note. With little I have said today, I know a lot of us that have it, cannot implement it. You can always get across, but the truth of the matter is that people should not make it a paper documentation. Show me, I show you. Audit has passed that level. I can audit a process and not come to you to show me and show you. I will get what I want. I will tell you that you are not doing health and safety in this organization. And if you want to certify your system, it's very simple. Let your consultant do everything for you. What auditors need is to come as third-party auditor to certify your system. Audit is say what you do, and I do what I say. You prove it, and I improve it. Audit is not about making somebody to fail. Audit is not about you must fail. For those of my students I've trained, I always say an auditor is not looking for people's failure, but it's looking for how we can improve the system. when you audit anybody, the auditor and auditing relationship is very critical. They must be friendly. They must be humble. Auditor is not a policeman. Health and safety, they are not policemen. Please take note. Don't shout at people. That's another ball game another day when we talk about auditing management system. We'll create another class for this. And matter of fact, as 2001, it's about leadership, it's about ownership, it's about we are going to do it together. Nobody knows more than the other. We are not opinionated. We take our leaders along. People take ownership of what they are supposed to do. We carry people along. That's why I say leadership and worker, participation. At the end of the day, teamwork, Ubuntu, teamwork, human kindness, teamwork, togetherness is very critical. If ants, and I repeat, if ants could come together and carry these three, there's nothing wrong in me and you, human being, to come together and save our colleague in our organization, save our colleague in the society, save our colleague in Lagos State, save our colleague in Nigeria and the global village at large. I am HSC positive, and my prof, my national leader, is also HSC positive. The student of academy, they are HSC positive. Ogawali Yola is HSC positive. If you are HSC positive, you will add to 45,001 2018 plan. Let's take the message everywhere. And that is why my great mentor, Dr. Nelson Mandela of Blessed Memory says, if you want the cooperation of humans around you, in your factory, in your company, in your locations, on your site, construction site, if you want the cooperation of the staff working for you, you must make them feel they are important. Let them see themselves as important. Don't shout at them. Understand what they do. Have what we call emotional intelligence. When you make them feel important, and you do that by being genuine and humble. Humility is the way to go. Humility is key to humanity. And of course, our profession, health and safety, is about humanity. It's about sustainability. It's about the people. We need to understand managing the people. I don't want to show this video. If I show this video, it's a summary of what I have said so far with respect to health and safety. This video alone is just like 2 minutes video. If you watch it in Genesis, or you watch it in Ozone, you watch it in any cinema house, it's 1,500 naira popcorn. So this program is free, no popcorn. It's supposed to be 1,000 naira based on economic indices. Let's watch the video. I will end the class. The floor must not come on the floor. Anyone must not come on the floor.
お前だよ。この間ぶつけたお前だろ。あれよんなのよ。ありしゃがこいつマジじゃん。マジじゃん。
you're not audible. You're no longer audible.
Positive becomes better. I believe in also 45,000. Rules and follow the standard. It will help us a lot. In summary, as a 45,000 2018 is a proven way to reduce cost, a proven way to strengthen compliance, a proven way to improve your operations and to drive operational excellence. My leaders and colleagues present here, the younger ones here, to see you at the top. Thank you very much. Thank you, Safety Moment, with Mali Yula. Thank you to my colleagues in the academy. Thank you to the leader of the academy, Dakomolade, because our double assistant advocates group is also a leader in the KJCS Academy. Thank all of you for coming, and we appreciate your support for health and safety professionals, for health and safety profession also, and for health and safety in society. I know one day we are going to get there. It is a journey, but not a destination. Thank you for inviting me, and I appreciate the time spent. And I'm sorry if I've taken some of your time. I sincerely apologize. I was logged out. I sincerely apologize for the internet to log it out. All things being equal, I thank you all, and I appreciate all those present in this class. And for those who could not log in, so sorry for that. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, this is mind-blowing. I can see the reaction so far. Everyone really appreciate this training. It is well elaborated, well explained, well demystified, well